AC/DC, Friday afternoon, Let There Be Rock. It is Terry Boston's Friday Afternoon Live with Dave Johnson over there. Dave, you alright?
I am alright, yeah, I'm alright now. We got Micky on, yeah.
Yes, we've got him on the line right now. Hello, Micky Adams, welcome to the show.
Yeah, chaps, how are you?
Are we good? We good? You're in a car wash at the moment, rock and roll.
Yeah, sorry about
that. So, the book came out yesterday. It's called Mylife in Football, Micky Adams. How long did it take you to write it?
I think from start to finish, it was probably something like 18 months. And an 18-month journey, really, that I didn't particularly enjoy.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're going to do a book, Terry, it's particularly if it's warts and all, and you're talking about things that you'd rather forget, it can become quite painful at times.
Yeah, because it's football for you. It's been your life in every way, from football player to manager, and there's some things that were probably hard to revisit, and there might have been some stuff you left out. Is that the case, or did you make sure everything went in?
I mean, I think there's obviously things that you can't discuss, and maybe that's for legal reasons more than anything.
Yeah.
So I think there is areas of my footballing life that are best kept between myself and the lawyers. Because. Some episodes in football you can't discuss because you get the legal people saying, "Listen, you've got to be very, 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 very careful about some of the things you talk about." So I've done that. I think it's an open and honest book. As I said, I haven't shied away from anything. If people think it's controversial, then that's down to them. But I just wanted to give my side of a footballing life.
Yeah, and of course I've seen snippets in media across the country, because you did play countrywide as a player and managed pretty much all over the country as well. But obviously for us, Port Vale features heavily because you were here quite a lot. And like I say, me and Dave are looking forward to reading it, because we were sort of there when you were there doing press and Dave was working there. And sometimes it could be like a soap opera at Port Vale, couldn't it?
Yeah, listen, it's a great club, I think that's the first thing to say, and it's had its problems, and that's mainly been caused through ownerships, nothing to do with the supporters. Obviously they turn up week in and week out and pay their money, but I think it is an hard club at times to manage, because there's so many things off the field that you have to deal with, and as a football manager, really, you want to be judged on the results that you get on the pitch, and a lot of the things that I talk about in the book about Port Vale were things that were happening off the pitch.
Yeah.
The politics of it all. And as a football manager, that doesn't sit well with me, because you want to get judged as a football person and the results that you get on the pitch, not talking and being involved in the politics of it.
Yeah, and of course, when you finally did leave, I think it was 6 games you went without a win, and you left the club. Why did you think you couldn't turn that round? Because you've done it before, you've been up against the pressure. Was that something you'd hit the wall with it?
I think you'd become tired, and I'd become tired, and I think I say in the book that a lot of my problems were that I'm a deep thinker, and if I felt tired and emotional, then I made bad mistakes, and that's been with me throughout my career. But I thought I was being fair to the football club to let it move on. A new voice. I think after 250 games there, people got a little bit fed up of me, and I wanted to walk away from Port Vale with everybody saying nice things about me, rather than people saying that I was washed up and I'd perhaps lost the dressing room, which wasn't the case, because that team I put together that season went on and did well, for Robert Faith. So, the potential was there. It was just my emotional state of mind at the time that I needed a break.
Yeah, and you signed Michael Brown, and obviously he was the Vale manager a bit after that.
Yeah.
And did you think that was something he would end up doing, being a manager?
Well, I'd actually talked to Michael about that, that how football evolves. if he wanted to take his coaching badge. I didn't really see him as a manager. I saw him more as a coach. If Michael wanted to help in the background whilst I was there, coaching wise, then that would be an avenue that we would explore. Unfortunately for him, he stuck his head above the parapet and became the manager, and you live or die by your results. Unfortunately, it's such a tough game.
Yeah, and you were remembered as the guy that sort of brought some glory back to Vale Park by the majority of fans. Of course, getting promotion on the back of administration. The how the club was lifted that season. The Burton Albion game, for instance, and how many people came down was just a testament to the hard work you put in. We joked as fans that saying that you've got the best out of players who probably other managers couldn't.
Well, that's always nice to hear. I think that when you gain promotion, it's not about one single man. It's about a group of people. And when I say a group of people, I'm talking about the backroom staff as well. And Dave was part of the backroom staff. It's all about them. It's all about people sticking together, working hard for each other. And when they did that, anything could be achieved. But ultimately, it's about players. And the players did magnificently well, and you've got to give them the credit. And I read some rubbish sometimes on certain sites saying that, the football that we played, come on. Some of the results we got that year, I look at the Fleetwood game away, I look at Burton Albion at home. Come on, surely that must have been some of the best football the fans had seen for years.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that was something I wanted to ask you about, social media and Facebook and reading stuff about yourself. Must be something that you have to take on board or ignore.
No, listen, I made it perfectly clear from day one at Port Vale that I wasn't going to read the websites.
Yeah.
So the people that were attacking me on the websites, listen, it didn't affect me because I wasn't interested in what they were saying. I remember Ray Williams, the chief scout, one day saying, the spectators aren't happy, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, listen, Ray, I've got to be honest, mate. I don't read the newspapers and I certainly don't read the website. So, it's water off a duck's back to me. Hey, Listen, nowadays, I don't mind reading some of the websites that are out there, and listening to what they've got to say because basically it doesn't affect me.
Yeah. And this week, of course, with Michael Brown going, your name's been thrown in the hat to come to Port Vale as director of football. Where is that going now? Where are we with that?
Well, listen, I've had a chat with Norman about various things that are happening at the football club, and I said to him that I would help him in any way that I possibly can. That's the feeling I have for the football club.
Yeah.
And there's no hidden agenda. I've got a very successful consultancy business at this moment in time, and listen, there's certain days where I can afford to help other people, and if Norman thought there was any benefit in me coming back and having a look at a few things off the pitch, listen, don't want anything at all to do with the day-to-day running of the football club.
Yeah.
I don't want to get involved with the manager, the coaching, the philosophy of a new manager coming into a football club. But if there's anything that I can do off the pitch to help the operation run more successfully, then that's what I'll do.
You might get you selling pies, though, knowing Norman.
I'll leave that to him. He looks as though he's eaten too many anyway. But listen, I'll leave that to him. Norman, if you read the book, people think we had a relationship that was fractious, and at times it was. But listen, I was honest to him, and I told him straight. He was honest to me, and that's the way it was. So. I wouldn't worry too much about the relationship between myself and Norman. I'm not a yes man. I never have been, and I think Dave will testify to that alongside you. That I speak my mind, and if people don't like it, then at least I've spoke my mind, and I don't want to go home and think about things and say, well, I wish I'd have said this and I wish I'd have said that. I say it as it is, and if people don't like it, well, that's down to them.
I remember it well when you used to do the press conferences. Like you say, you commanded a room quite well, and Dave's got his hand up over here. That's what we have to do. He wants to ask you a question.
I'm just interested, Mickey, on the role of director of football. How did you find that role? you say you don't want to get involved in, what the manager's doing and stuff like that. So how do you define that role? What is that job exactly?
Well, listen, I had a director of football at Leicester, and that was Dave Bassett. Now, Dave Bassett, what a director of football has got to be. He's got to be a sounding board for the manager if the manager wants to talk to him. He deals with all the things that that take your time up in football management, and that a lot of the time is agents.
Yeah.
Let's face it. That is an area that needs repairing at the football club. The roles of the agents at the clubs, because the players that have all got agents, so it's something that you have to deal with, and it takes an awful lot of time up dealing with them. So yeah, and scouting. Organising scouts, getting reports in, making sure that the manager has all the relevant information on the opposition that they're going to play against, and also the team that he's going to play against. And then, every transfer window, making sure that the manager has got a list of possible signings in each separate position that he can either afford or not afford. Yeah, so he doesn't waste his time.
See, people
basically, it's just working through all the jobs that the managers don't particularly enjoy doing. They haven't got the time for it, Dave.
Yeah.
No.
The manager should concentrate on the team, the tactics, the players that he's got available to him, and let a director of football deal with everything else.
People seem to think that a manager's job, they sit in the office and maybe watch training or get involved and then pick the sides on Saturday, and that's it. But it's a hell of a lot more than that, isn't it?
No, listen. There's so much time that managers have to spend. Press. You people take up an awful lot of time. We're answering calls on an hourly basis from agents. And particularly around the transfer window time. You can get bogged down with it. So, a manager has a lot of facets that he has to deal with, and also he's got to get results. Don't forget, the most important part of a manager's job is getting results. Simple as.
Yeah. What do you think Port Vale should do manager-wise? Do you think they should bring in somebody with experience now, or do you think they should start again with a young manager? What do you think would help them lift off the bottom of the League Two?
Well, listen, everybody talks about the manager as though it's the this game is about players.
Yeah.
Everybody's telling me that we've got good players at the club. Well, I tell you what, if we've got good players at the club, well, tell them to redouble their efforts and let's see it. Because at the moment, we're not seeing it, are we?
No.
So the new manager coming in, he's got to do well because he's got to motivate the group of players that he's got available to him at this moment in time. If there's any players that are out of contract, let's face it, they're not going to be fit. They've not played any games. There could be other people's problems, so you could inherit problems with players that are out of contract at this moment in time. So what he's got to do is he's got to work with a group of players that he's got, because there's no white charger coming over here until January.
Yeah. Okay, well, Micky, it's been great talking to you. I know you're busy. Like I say, you've got to promote this book. It's out at the moment, Mylife in Football. Priced quite a bit more, probably in Burslem. But it's been a cracking chat. Thank you very much for coming on the air with us.
Yeah, all the best, Terry, Dave.
And we'll both be buying a copy, Micky. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheers, top man. Thank you.
Unless I can get a free one, we're gonna play the jam for you. I know you're a big Weller fan. This is going underground, but thank you very much, Micky Adams.
Cheers, Micky.
Thank you. Bye bye.